The only way you can succeed in this life is if you learn how to master the art of communication. Today I want to talk with you more specifically about what you can do to be able to communicate your message to the world. You see, everyone has something to say, but your ability to say it verbally or physically has a lot to do with your level of success. So today I want to share with you how you can communicate like a genius, because if you can get your message across, you'll be able to change the world at large. The first tip to communicating like a genius is to be compassionate. There's expert communicators who know everything about everything. They know the big words, they know the good stories, they understand persuasion, but something is missing. They're missing love. You see, love is the key to communicating like a genius. And if you really want to get your message across, you have to understand other people. You have to first understand their message so that you can create your own message within yourself and then be able to relay it to them so that they can understand you more. The only way you can do that is by learning how to listen and formulate your response as you think so that they can get it, so they understand where you're at. Be compassionate. Send thoughts of love everywhere you go. When you walk into a room, people should know exactly who you are by the love that they felt before you entered. Your energy gives presence to the room, so make sure you convey that so people can understand that you are all about love. The second tip is to use small talk. You'd be surprised how much you can learn in a simple conversation just by creating a little small talk. Ask a question about the weather, politics, sports. There's always something going on in the world that you can connect with people with. So make sure you get that across. Make sure you ask the right questions and be able to start that small talk so that you can take your relationship with this person to the next level. You see, there's so many times where we're going to meet strangers and we don't exactly know what to say. Sometimes we're afraid and we might hesitate to say something to them. But what you always have to keep in mind is that person might be equally afraid of you. So in order to break that fear, in order to get closer to that person, small talk is necessary. Connect with them. You're seeing the same stuff, you're seeing the same people, you're in the same space. So if you connect with them, most likely they'll be able to connect with you. And you never know where the conversation might lead. The third tip is to use callbacks. And callbacks are simple. Basically what you want to do is to refer to a former conversation that you have with the person that you're interacting with. So for instance, let's say I go to a restaurant and I see the server that I saw last time and he sees me, he says, "Daniel, you're Daniel, right?" That's a callback. He follows up by saying, "You're the guy that liked the steak sauce, right?" The steak sauce, right? And then I smile, of course, and I blush and he says, "Okay, I got you." And then we make some small talk and we take our conversation to a higher level because I realized that he connected with me, that he cared, and it's because he used that power of the callback. The fourth tip is to use people's names. You see, people cherish their names, and it's the sweetest sound that a person could ever hear. But you'd be surprised of the mass majority of people who skip this little step. You know, they'll walk by a grocery store and they'll see a guy, let's say his name is Ben, and Ben's a cashier, and on his name tag it says B-E-N, and it's so big you cannot miss it. But hundreds of people will walk by this man without saying a word or referencing his name. Surprisingly, you come by and you say, "How you doing, Ben?" You make small talk, you connect with them, and eventually Ben smiles. He lights up for the rest of the day, and for his next 100 people that he serves, he does exceptional because you use his name. There's a power in people's names. So when you get sincere with people and use their name correctly, you'll find that it will take you places you never dreamed in your relationship with them. The fifth idea is to learn how to tell your life story. Have you ever met people and they try to tell you everything about them from the time they're 1 year old to the time they're 51? Well, that's a problem. You see, what you should be able to do is to tell your story, your life story, in 1 minute or less. A great way that I would suggest doing this is to write out your whole entire life story on paper. It might sound hard to do, but it's something that 99% of the world will never even consider doing. Once you do that, whether you handwrite it or type it up, you'll find that you'll learn so much more about yourself, and you'll be able to shorten that story as you practice telling it to so many people who listen with great interest. The key here is to know that people don't really have time to listen to your entire life story. So you have to make it easy for them. You have to tell them where you grew up, what you're about, what kind of values you were raised with, and then help them understand that you're the kind of person that they can trust. If you can convey your life story to people, they'll open up and disclose it to you. So be able to share your life story in 1 minute or less, and you'll see that people will connect with you. Now that you learn how to communicate like a genius, let me hear your story. Leave a comment below and subscribe so we can be able to connect, because I want to hear the words that you say, and I want to hear your story so that you can be able to get out to the world and share your message.